Thank you very much. It is time here for the PEL Kick-Off Cup to get into our first game of day number 2. And we are going to be going to Erangel with Group A of all things. The most hotly contested group so far in the PEL Kick-Off Cup between the two. And we're about to find out who is going to be able to rack up all of the points here to start off the day. Let's head over to the commentary team here for all the action for day number 2.
Thank you, and what an incredible prospect this is. Group A is delivering on what the concept of this cup represents, Martin. I'm excited for this. What's already stood out to you? Because you just highlighted something quite interesting to me.
Well, so far, the top 3 is only the contender teams, which is really interesting. AVANGAR, obviously, Besiktas and DESPERADO, and they're doing very well for themselves. Good lead down to the 4th, which is Digitalytics. This is very interesting, and look at this plane, though. This is a rough start for a lot of these teams, because the majority of the teams that actually loot up here on the north, in Georgia Pole, Yasnaya, we have many of these teams that are very far north, so we might see some early kind of contest or some changes in the drops, or maybe another military circle, depending on the day.
Another one. Huh?
Another one. Yeah, I mean this.
It's how it goes sometimes.
I don't know. What do you think about having like consecutive military games, and it's just like it's stacking up to be, because usually we kind of talk about it's supposed to be like 1 in 6, 1 in 7, and now we had 2 in a row here for this group.
I feel for the teams, because you get it. Okay, you get it on the first game, you're like, all right, it's not going to happen again. Don't worry, we go back to our normal plan. You know what I mean? You kind of push it aside, and they're like, okay, no, okay, we are screwed. Cool, 2 in a row, nice one. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it also tests the teams, and I think that's fun. I think it was a really good display very early on as to what to expect from some of these players. And if I'm not mistaken, we're seeing more people on Sosnovka Island than we did last time. I'm pretty sure I didn't see this many. And I was actually chatting to Chris very quickly, and they were very confident in how they were approaching Yasnaya, for example. And I think we might see the response there coming out from We Need a Home, who were up there and got forced out.
Yeah, and Fast Rail was also... we talked about it, right? So why not just give it to us? Thank you, guys. Great.
Yeah,
all
let's
right,
not
3
mess
for 3.
with these settings right now.
3 for 3. Well, we didn't see it in the other group, right? So this is just this
group.
group.
Why is it us? Why is it me? Wait.
This is great, though. We Need a Home down there. We have AVANGAR. We have Unity. Desperado is feeling very great in this. Navi's already there. Tornado Energy is there. Digitalytics changed their drop from the Russia kind of split they usually have to a Milta Power. We have CrowCrowd down in Primor. So all these teams are kind of all ready for it. They're ready for the memes already, right?
They're ready for the memes. It's early, but they're ready.
But Ratio Edge, Fastrail actually, he added on the Pro Discord yesterday. He was like, We Need a Home. Do you want to come to Yasnaya again? Because so far it's been lots of free points. So they're already spicing up, and I like that competitiveness. Yeah, I like that. And
it's good. You need that.
Yes, but they're going to be by far the most northern team considering loot-wise. And they're going to be looting Yasnaya. They're going to be doing it to themselves, so they're going to have a lot of time doing it. But we still see the kind of contest here with Reciprocity and Vitality, and this is what I kind of want to talk a bit about it. So we have 12 games. Yesterday, Vitality and Reciprocity both kind of struggled. We have Reciprocity with 12 points and Vitality with 26. That's not struggling, but compared to the potential, right? And I feel like it's kind of hurting them both, and I think, and we talked about it again yesterday, but I don't feel like the cup is the place to come and show your point, because I really want to see these two teams in a cup like this really fully unleash their potential and show to the contender teams, first of all, that they're a force to be reckoned with. Otherwise, they're just going to be pulling up on them. They're going to be messing with them. And then when they see them weakened, they're going to be pushing them, third-party them, and everything. But Reciprocity has changed a little bit. They are going away from school apartments, and they're taking the halfway compound between Pochinki and school now. And it's going to be a lot less loot and a lot less cars. And I want to see if this continues, if we see it playing directly over school, and if they continue for this. But again, military game 3 for 3 now. Is it worth it? Are they going to change anything? And how are they kind of going to approach it going forward? It's very curious. But hopefully they're going to get down there and they can continue their fight down on Sosnovka Island like they did yesterday.
Yeah, we are seeing some of the teams getting those early rotates building for themselves. Nothing too much to write home about. A couple of them maybe opting for the bridge early, and you can't blame them for doing that. Now, as the time, it does become almost impossible to do late game, and you'll start seeing teams opting for other avenues of approach. And honestly, for We Need a Home, this might be a good choice for them. They might be pretty pleased with this, considering where that circle is and their adjustment. If they're up in Yasnaya, potentially losing out on utility players to raise your edge, I mean, they've made the great choice without knowing it. So for them, this could be a really nice boost. But it's not without a bit of a challenge for the teams trying to get over early. I'm pretty sure Tornado's already got a glimpse potentially on one. I know Unity definitely knows they're there. Now, Unity curious situation with them. They were quite late coming out of Novo in the previous games, this time seeming to be more proactive, which might really benefit them here as they are getting that information. Melman has carried on the journey. Orange Snow does get spotted. Maybe not quite as bad as Yellow Snow, but for now, Unity need to keep themselves in a good position. Out on their own here, Orange Snow, so can't get caught out. You really don't want to. It's not worth it.
I mean, definitely with the plane dropping early for them and they had a lot more time, but Tornado Energy is going to be having an easy rotate. They're going to be putting on some pressure onto Orange Snow. Emash as well with some shots into Se7en. Here, very close to Pochinki. Emash and M19 again. One of the teams struggling yesterday, a total of 9 points in 4 games, and it talks to like they're playing with 2 of their management guys, and that they don't have the players here. So we would expect this from them. So I'm just happy to kind of see them show up, and I don't want to put too much harm on them just from this alone. And Og though, and it's going to be straight for Navi, and this is just going to be an insane weapon for especially Veselog.
Yeah,
he's going to swap that instantly.
Oh,
he has an SLR as well.
That's a big combo. And overall, this team has been doing quite well as well. Not quite in the top 3, but not far out of it. 4th place, if I'm not mistaken, at the moment. So, again, no star player there. But beyond that, seemingly still firing on all cylinders. The step in, the stand in has been able to deliver. We are seeing that fight continue between Tornado Energy and AVANGAR. It does seem as though AVANGAR are suffering on the side of it. Now, considering AVANGAR one of the teams that did get themselves very early to the Millie base itself, that's where they dropped. That would have been lovely for them. But to lose out on one this early, very surprising.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that for them going out aggressive. I mean, if you want to hold down something, but they lost a guy in a kind of an off spot. They're still looting some of the other guys, and I don't think they're that prepared for that many teams already getting there. But then again, these teams are already kind of tested and tried for these games, so they have a strat, and it comes again and again. And I like to see how a lot of these teams already adapt. Memo, though, is going to take down a doozy from Navi. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to finish it off. There was a bit of a long shot coming in from the western side of it.
That's a very, very nice shot, actually, coming off the back. Now, Navi should be able to get the revive there. There shouldn't be too much pressure unless the third party comes in, which it doesn't seem as there is one. The western bridge is currently scarce of players, so the revive should come in. This is going to be seeing all the DMRs, all the sniper rifles finding their positions. Right now, you're going to see a couple of picks. It's if they get the confirmation on the kill, that's when things get a bit different. Obviously, you don't want to be burning through your loot already. If you're getting rid of helmets, vests, that's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. You want to keep your players up. Vitality on the move. Going to be trying to cross it in front of Raise Your Edge. Good tags. And Chris, I touched on this yesterday. We talk about this player a lot, mostly because Richard is a big fanboy. Speaking of fanboys, Scoom has gone down. As to Besiktas, Simsy is going to find that without much trouble, really. Another big loss for Reciprocity, and that it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I want to see them doing well. They have been struggling. I'd hoped they'd come in today not having that sort of air of what they did yesterday, maybe being more confident, looking a little bit hotter coming into this one. But back to Raise Your Edge, I'm really glad to see Chris coming into this and performing in the kind of character style we know he can do, that sniper style that he can bring, where the Miramar, Erangel, this guy is very, very good. So I hope we see more of that today. Obviously things can change, but for Besiktas, lovely little point grab there for them.
Faster point grab. Reciprocity looks to be rotating straight into M19. See how I can get out of that. Se7en is already taking one of the last boats, I believe, out of Ferry Pier. There are some, in these settings here, we are using the competitive settings. There are hard spawns for boats. So there are no random boat spawns. All the players know where the boats are, but it's a question of how many there are left. Knights here, they're taking the hard spawn here from the Milta area because Tornado Energy, they cross with their cars so they could keep them for rotations later. So Knights, they're going to be keeping this. They're going to send one guy over to see if it's safe, and then they're going to kind of step up behind to take control of both sides of the bridge before they cross over. I like that. But soon we could see Raise Your Edge actually rotating straight into them. I'm
curious about Reciprocity and M19 here, if that's going to be an issue potentially. We do see the bullets going through. This actually be a big problem. They pull up in the middle of the water as well. Rafi, the one to fall here. Elite player's going to find that with relative ease, and this is a bit of a disaster to begin the day off with.
Very much so. Besiktas another fight here outside the blue mesh. Yeah, Hexet is down, Shiv, and Reciprocity off to a super bad start here. Besiktas wants some more kills. He's going to take down the real KBE, and Alpha is also probably going to go down. One more shot, and he's going to be taking out the car. And very nice shots here from Tom as well. These guys, they don't care about getting, they just want to get some kills. More is popping off. Calvin Klein down with X team.
Besiktas mean business. That's what scares me. If they're coming today with like a really aggressive, good, fluid start where everything just seems to be working, they don't need more help. They were already doing really well. And now they're looking really good. The circle has moved towards the east of Sosnovka Island. So that's not going to be too much of a bother. A couple of the teams on the outskirts might have to shuffle in, but for now there's still room available. There it is. Chris coming in. I want to see more of this. He's got the 24. He's got the aim to deliver across the water on it too. And why not finish it off with the scar as well? Put a bow on it. This guy's going off, and this is just bringing a smile to my face. Vitality suffering.
Vitality suffering puts a smile on your face. I love it. I love it. No, but definitely we saw Vitality pull up here yesterday as well, but I don't know why they didn't scout from this area here. Shots are coming back, and looks like Vitality is going to be losing 2 players from this pull up on the beach side. Snark has been lost to Melman, and Pittsburgh Knights, they managed to get across, but Snark pulled up a bit too deep instead of putting the car safely. Now Vitality looks like they're gonna try to get Natus up, but he's down to nothing. Just one more shot and he's gonna be knocked again. Looks like they're gonna get him off though. This is good though. We managed to get up one guy from this disaster.
Big recovery. I'm surprised they actually pulled that off. It felt very touch and go. Luckily for them, there was no one on that Novo side. There's no one on the... no one can really get full vision on this. They don't know that, of course. But they've tucked themselves into a nice little dip unless Chris bangs out another beautiful shot, which, with the 24 in hand, he can thread the needle and then some. I don't think it's going to happen at this point, but I don't want to say, never say never. As Vitality do have cover now, it's whether or not they can continue to hold this down. And of course, Raise Your Edge are making a great deal of noise. They do have the other 2 teammates. You're looking at Fast Rail here. And Chris, of course, they're all on the back lines, keeping control of the north, making sure no one's going to fold onto them and kind of keep them busy. Vitality on the run, just serpentining away, trying to get in towards safety. As we see all the other teams trying to kind of weasel their way into that safety area. Se7en
managed to get a boat and get going further. What I really like to see though is we saw just in the length of it, Unity actually made something different. I talked to Frost about it yesterday, and he said, why are we not taking, when you come out of Novo, why are you not taking the spot up on the satellite and the radio tower hill? And they actually took this for this, so they're learning. They're learning from the mistakes, and they're now up there, so I'm very happy to see that.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we kind of said this in the first couple of games we saw them. Is this hesitation? Is them not kind of either doing their research? Maybe they don't have a coach. Maybe they don't have someone to go over the VODs and watch things back. Or maybe they just weren't feeling aggressive enough to do it, because they were the first ones in Novo. So I'm really glad that you pointed that out, and they have made the, I guess, quote-unquote, correct option. You do expect a team to start racking up some bodies there, though. I don't know if you're going to get the flush all the way through on that one, but you should be starting to knock people because you have such great vision. Raise Your Edge could be getting some pressure coming in if... All right, just okay. Just a little bit of style points. That's fine.
Look at how free these bridges are. Nobody's camming them. And obviously people want to get just to the military zone and everything, but more shots to come in here. It is Se7en taking shots at M19, and they're outside in the blue. The zone is going to be closing here, and the damage is going to increase. Zone is going to centralize very nicely. Raise Your Edge, meanwhile, is crossing the bridge.
Knights aren't far from this, so they could potentially spot that out. So could a couple of the other team Vitalities there. They're just committing Chris. This is madness. They're just going for this one. Unleashing Fury now. The Knights are just giving everything they can towards this. Minox just about makes it in towards that little bit of a dip, but he's not completely safe. Chris is out and about. They're looking to try and stem and slow and quell the pressure coming in. You can now see up on that radio tower those tracer fire bullets coming through, and they're not alone here. Keep in mind that there are other teams considering that bridge. Red Diamonds aren't far away, so that's going to be another team potentially coming in the same direction. But beyond that, Besiktas on the other side. Chris lands a banger. That is so sick. Is there anyone else daring to peek up? Has no one learned by now? Just don't peek this guy. If he's starting to play well, just don't do it. Wanted. Are you mad? Please, Wanted, for your sake and your safety, just keep arms and legs inside the, I guess, building at all times right now. Raise Your Edge looking for more. Chris keeping pressure building throughout the map. This is what I like to see. Red Diamonds opting for a different route, it looks like. Maybe looking for potential boats at this point. It would be very ambitious. I'm not sure what their plan's going to be, but this is going to be a great game, I feel.
This is already off to a great start, and just from Group A here alone, there's so much more action off the bat from the start. It's not as passive as we see in Group B, so all more of these teams are really putting in some pressure onto everyone, and that's also why we see so many shakeups. Digitalytics, though, they're going to be pushing on to We Need a Home, and feel like they're already fully aware where they are.
Digitalytics have been so good as well. These guys have shown that they have incredible firepower. And I want to see more from We Need a Home. They're an interesting team to watch. They certainly have some character to them, but they've sadly been on the receiving end of some very early pressure, and they seem completely annoyed. Look at this squad, silently hunting through the fields. Se7en, first of all, not completely flushed here. Waiting for the follow-up, no trade available. A beautiful death deals that. Confirms what was started by Sixmo. Is there a third party? Yes! Mert just got found. It's not without answer here, and Mert goes down.
It's going to go down. It's a far nade as well, and that's all the way up from Radio Tower Hill from Unity. So they're putting some pressure onto them as well. Shots are coming in as well from the south now. That's Se7en again taking more shots. First on M19 and now on Digital Athletics here. They're going to go down a beautiful death. Are they able to confirm it though? It looks like it. Yes, Ukraine is going to take that down. Dovnik, meanwhile, also putting some shots towards Digital Athletics here.
Yeah, this is all again. This is great moves from Unity. I'm so glad we saw it. This is them receiving the reward from taking this position. You can see the SLR in play, the SKS, the Car 98. We do see Tornado Energy on the move as well. Raise Your Edge shifting slightly towards the west here, kind of adjusting around towards where I think Tornado Energy was previously. Knights is still holding that kind of, I guess, crossroads coming in off the eastern bridge, but we are going to see the western side get quite busy soon. That was the CIS battle that happened in the first couple of games too. Na'Vi still over towards that side. Besiktas moving up. Buster holding the ridge line. And Digital Athletics are staying alive for now. They have suffered casualties during this entire engagement, and they're still open towards that hillside. We are seeing Unity still laying down a lot of pressure.
And also, I mean, Digital Athletics, they have been in a great spot. They need to get away from this angle that Unity have on them. There's a great little ditch that they're moving towards right now. Se7en are going to be still inside the zone, but they're going to have to cross the road at some point. The southern side is not as busy as we kind of expected, but the west is going to be receiving a lot of pressure from both CrowCrowd, AVANGAR's there, DESPERADO. Besiktas is also sitting there. Navi's coming in from the north as well. So we're going to see a lot of kind of fire coming in on the western side soon.
Yeah, the western side is scaring me, if I'm completely honest. And Besiktas especially, they are looking dangerous. We Need a Home, though, starting to pull attention from areas they do not want it. And we're getting tagged up. Gonna have to be careful now. Still 3 standing for them. This battle, it feels like they're waiting for a couple of knocks here. I don't know if it's going to explode. What I am looking at is the northern side. Raise Your Edge are looking for new options here. Na'Vi was swinging around, as you mentioned. Fast Rail just about gets the bike down towards safety. And I say safety very vaguely, as the Knights can see this, Na'Vi can see this, and that's without Unity or Tornado coming into the mixture. There's still so much potentially waiting to happen on that northern edge, because there's not much of it in full safety unless Na'Vi go further back down towards the west. But up towards Desperados, there's so much that can go wrong here. And keep in mind, the Red Diamonds are still slowly getting closer.
Pushing in towards and back behind Avi. It looks like Pokemon has the information on them though, and there are only 2 guys alive. Could be looking strong. Besiktas though with a 3-man rotation in the US outside the blue. Taking a lot of shots from CrowCrowd. Looks to be receiving a lot of bullets here. And fire. Oh, it's 2 guys. Tommel and Cynthia. Already low on HP. Could be going very rough for these guys.
Yeah, that blue's chunking as well, Martin. This isn't going to be a comfortable rotation. And for now, they're staying alive. Vitality are not in there. Go Simsy and Tommel. There's only so much you can do in this situation with the whole squad unleashing fury. And I don't know how they're still standing in this. There's so much attention on Besiktas. And they were one of the top fraggers. They're the ones who got it started here. Basically applying pressure to Reciprocity early on. Vitality again getting confirmed. Red Diamonds start to fall. That's the Desperados coming around in towards that battle on the western side. Again, we are seeing Ultra go down, and it looks like Besiktas might be down to their final member.
Yeah, Ultra's going to go down here, and he's probably going to bleed out over time as Lux is taking another spot. Oh, he's actually going to be found by Memo, and he's gone. Besiktas out in 14th.
Yeah, Vitality, I think, are going to be soon to follow suit. Yep, there they go, gone down as well. They got caught in so many of those horrible battles on the way. Their rotations were far from clean. Now, Na'Vi in the north did take that further western approach. That does mean they could walk in towards potentially one of the other teams. And I think the time I've gone out on that bike, potentially it has indeed. And CrowCrowd did manage to stay alive for a second or two, but AVANGAR, this is their home. They started here, and they want to end here as well. You've got so much fire towards this airfield. It is being lit up as we speak. They're controlling that side. CrowCrowd do still have a couple of players standing, but I don't know how long that's going to stay for.
Meanwhile, Knights, they're going to be moving slowly into the zone. Just on the edge here on the north, Unity looks to be 100% aware of where these guys are. Already nades are coming out. Set is going to be found by Cold. Menta from Desperado. He's going to be going down. Well, CrowCrowd is taking a lot of fire. AVANGAR is looking decent inside the zone. Zone is going to shrink, and it's going to go all the way east. Fearing and kind of copying some of the zones we had from yesterday. And this is going to be very good for Tornado Energy, Digital Analytics, and we need a home.
Yeah, M19 could certainly benefit as well. They get that deeper eastern side. They could work their way through. You can see it in the background. That will not go unnoticed, but it's still not bad at all for them. They might have to fight a little bit of their way. Now, up in the north, RYE Red still in that battle with the Knights. That's continuing, but the Knights do have a better step towards a new circle. Se7en Esports catching a glimpse of those on the airfield, working their way in towards this one. I want to see how the Desperados approach this. They're not in the best of spots currently because they have Na'Vi towards their north controlling that kind of, I guess, road cross. And the Knights are not in a great position either. Trying to get these revives in, level 1 helmets are looking a little bit broken and beaten there, but they still have a couple of seconds where they have to move. And speaking of a couple of seconds of moving, RYE Red need to do the same. Unity making these peaks. Chris, you want him there because he can alleviate some of that pressure. That's when your kind of M24s, Car 98s come in clutch. Drayden on the move. Wanted doing the same. They got to get into this new circle, and they're going to be right around the back of RYE Red here.
Yeah, and meanwhile, RYE is going to get into... Oh, it's not looking good. Two guys in a Dacia, they're going to be making a rotation, but they're forced to do it. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh Knights also spotted them. This car's going to blow up on time.
If they make it out of that, it would have been a miracle. It doesn't happen in the end. Minos does get found by his own teammate, but it doesn't matter. The car was going down one way or another. It was going to be Unity to find that one. We need a home still alive, managing to kind of keep eyes away from them for a little bit of time, using this defilade, this little dip in the hillside very well. And actually finding a couple of the AVANGAR players. This is surprising. Maxi's gone down. Nocutive's also been caught off, and CrowCrowd suffering the same fate. That entire western side has been struggling to make it into this new circle.
And especially on this western side, it's so hard to get into it because all of these teams, they have a higher ground. There's no cover for them to run, so they had to make this rotation earlier. Batulins, though, taking the shots onto Desperado. It's going to be finishing off Talsera. Now Desperado's going to be down to 3 members while fighting still with Na'Vi here on the northern side.
Yeah, Na'Vi finally make the move. Desperados are behind them. You've got to be looking towards Knights here. Fast Rail just about staying alive. Reels and Drayden weren't far off this one. You can see this kind of unfolding. They're all littered over that hillside. Minox actually might get a revive out of this too, so they could get back to a couple more players here. But let's keep tabs on what's happening with Na'Vi as well. Desperados will be working their way in as best they can. The remainder of AVANGAR in an extended battle, to say the least. Snoopy going to dip out of that one, but there's no real respite here. You've got so many angles to worry about. And Calvin Klein, this guy, bit of an animal, but gets put down this time. Look, Molodoi does catch him, but it's not without a trade. AVANGAR lose out on theirs. Calvin Klein gets confirmed, and Na'Vi starting to suffer as well.
Colementa trying to cross the road. Memo's going to find him as well. That's the 3rd kill for Memo from Bonita Home. Well played by him. Nates came out as well to try to finish that off. Na'Vi managed to cross the road, and it looks like to be having 4 guys up. Frost talked about this on the desk, and these guys are fraggers, but they need to get into a spot where they're able to frag, and this looks like to be the game for them.
Yeah, it certainly does. And the teams in the West finally catch a break here, not shifting further to the East. This will cause Unity finally to make that move off the Radio Hill Tower. You can see the Knights have to do the same. M19 still in a good spot here. That southern side, though, still being gate-kept by We Need a Home. They hold back Se7en Esports currently. And you got to look towards RYE Red as well. They're on the northern side. They're in that extended battle still. And here comes that push. We Need a Home. Try to hold the line. They couldn't do it. Se7en Esports find Rita. Is there now another follow-up? Is there a trade available? Not just yet. It was Na'Vi who yoinked that kind of points from underneath them. And Sixmo just died. Where did Sixmo just die from? Did he fall off the ledge?
I think he fell off the ledge, yeah. Menaxi is going to finish off Drayden. Melman's going to steal it, actually. Otherwise, just said... finished off 6 moves of Dovnik. And Unity now, they're looking to be, they probably have to take the cars to get off. Yeah, look at this. Orange Snow already starting. Have to get the cars not to take the fall damage.
Oh,
so,
look at him. Oh my god! The flip and the explosion. What movie is this? It's like the action hero waiting down below. Memo's still holding the line. Keep that in the back of your minds. That is still going on. But this battle is far from over as Elite Player is patrolling. He's holding anyone who dares comes forward. Buster going to try and move in now. Going to try and find a way up here. Memo holds it, though that Mini has been doing work. Don't doubt him just yet, but Na'Vi could be a threat. Anyone in the back lines could be a threat here towards them. And the Nades trying to burst away forward.
Smokes are coming out as well. Se7en still trying to make it into the zone. Edelweiss taking some shots here at Bolidurk. Oh, he's going to get him low, but now it's the time for them to move. Everybody else is moving, trying to get into the zone as well. Edelweiss on the rotation here. Memo, Bolidurk, they're forced to hit the ground. Na'Vi now is popping off as well.
Yeah, they're starting to look towards the north as RYE did manage to get some of the players back up, but still the nades are landing towards the hill. That's going to be taking down one of the M19 players. That's not bad. D-Mash unleashing, and he finds it as well. Unity, as soon as they start to peel off that hill, are now in trouble trying to get the confirmation. He gets it. One man just punching away. The cheeky little confirmation back on Elite Player with a no-scope from one of the Unity players. This is a brawl and a half happening here. Keep in mind, though, M19 do hold the circle, so the bottom line is very uncomfortable for Unity working their way forward, and I think they're going to be realizing that right about now.
M19 again with a good kind of game for them. 6 kills so far into the kind of later stage of the circle. Battlein is though going to take some shots, returns fire, but now down to maybe finish off one of the M19 players that is knocked. Let's see here, it's going to happen. Babaki with some nades onto Unity as well. This could be the one.
Yeah, this should be it. Really nice timing from the last man standing for Digital Athletics. They did well. The nades coming out from Na'Vi will be catching out Raise Your Edge in the north. That means Chris is now going to be humbled finally and quelled as Senya and Bestalog might start trying to constrict towards that side. A follow-up nade could catch out Minox here. Not sure if it's on. It is! Excellent nades from Na'Vi. Catching out 2, clearing out the team to their north, alleviating that pressure, allowing them cleaner ways into that new circle and not have to worry about their back, as the 2 other players from Na'Vi already are in a great position here. That southern side, though, I'm curious Se7en Esports are going to be able to catch that one man standing, as Na'Vi now start to realize who they're up against.
Na'Vi and Tornado Energy here. They're going to be taking a big fight. Combat already knocked. Kamka is still inside. They've been inside, just as we saw with Desperado, they were inside this building, but kind of different circle and definitely favoring Na'Vi, and they played it so well, crossing the road very late. 7 kills though on M19. Contenders is going to take down Krabik. Probably be able to finish him as well if there's no him right. He's going to take down another one from Karish, going down 2, but Buster found him, and we need a home is down in 7th place.
Big jump up for them, though, considering they were getting kills. They got some decent placement there. Now, that could bode well for Na'Vi if they had all their players in the right place. They could have maybe focused on the southern side, but that's not going to be what's happening right now. We're looking at Tornado, who still have these 3 players here. So, oh, what a time to go for a ride. We already saw what happened to the last vehicles that tried to make it down. Oh my god, no, don't do that, don't. No. Get away from the demon bike. Just don't do anything about it. just ignore that ever happened. But the blue is moving in there, not safe at all. Trying to make a jump, and it was heroic, but it's gone very poorly. The trade comes in from the side, though. 7, they have an angle. It's worked out. This isn't bad at all. M19, I think, have now just gone down. That's all of them eliminated. We're down to 4 teams here. 12 players alive. And Se7en Esports still have 4 players standing, as do Na'Vi.
Na'Vi here, Senya. He only have 32 spare bullets with this SLR, so he's going to take a few less, but Digital Athletics, Bambaki is going to be snaking on the southeastern side, maybe try to survive. We still have 12 players alive, 4 teams of them. Na'Vi, 4 guys alive, Tornado 3, and 7, still 4 guys standing after that massive battle of the south. Very impressive of them being able to kind of sweep in and just take the spot away from We Need a Home.
Let's see where this circle goes as well. I'm waiting to see this one. That's going to be very telling. It could be 7 getting a huge edge in this one, potentially, forcing Tornado out, Na'Vi out. We'll wait and see. Molodoy getting some pressure. It actually plays pretty evenly to an extent. Tornado might be in a bit of a predicament now. I don't know how much line of sight they can deny here without being open up to Na'Vi. So Na'Vi should be able to kind of capitalize on this one. People are running out of ammo. People are getting very low on what they've got left. Bestlog's down to about 20 in hand and 17 spare, but we'll see what utility. 4 nades still, loads of smokes. Na'Vi sitting relatively pretty beyond that factor. Now, looking at this, who's already in the circle? Bambaki, not ideal, but he can kind of snake his way forward. Tornado are the ones who are going to be receiving a lot of scrutiny now. Yeah,
it's an energy here. They're definitely in the most rough spot. They have to smoke their way in or try to cross down to the workshop maybe. That looks like they're what they're doing right now. Kamka trying to do this. Meanwhile, now he is taking the fight with Se7en Esports. Edelweiss is going to take down a Doozy. Lots of 5-5 bullets for him. Pokemon might be able to pick him up, though. We'll see how this is going to work, how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, this is getting a lot of pressure now. Se7en Esports taking the timing right. As soon as Tornado started to move forward, they focused towards Na'Vi, who attempted to open up at that point. 7 getting aggressive. Edelweiss is not far away from this. Keep that in mind. You might see that in the kill feed pretty soon. He's peeking the ledge here. I don't know if Bestlog's seen that or if the smoke might have occluded his vision. He peeks up and over, but they've taken the low ground. That's a really good shout. Really good play. Dipping it. Frank does manage to stay alive. Edelweiss off peaks. And down Na'Vi go! A doozy does find one back. Is there more of an answer? Yes! He keeps going, but it looks like Na'Vi might be on their last legs here. Good spray again from Frank, and Na'Vi goes down.
What an amazing play here from Se7en Esports. Na'Vi's going to go down in 4th spot. Melman and the Tornado Energy guys completely got this opened up to them now. 7 have 2 guys standing and 1 player knocked. Edelweiss is knocked. Frank Kerr's going to go try to res him up, but this is the play. This is the move for them. They have to really capitalize on this opportunity that's been given to them after 7 completely crushed Na'Vi. 11 kills for them now.
Kamka could do something about this. They're not overextending, though. They're not feeling that confident. They don't have the full picture, potentially. So maybe they don't want to quite go down to that yet. Buster's not close enough to support the two remaining players. That's the issue here. He can't provide the cover we saw coming out from Edelweiss before, up on that slightly higher ledge. Frank goes down. Flush comes through. Kamka does get that in the pocket. Edelweiss holds the deeper angle. He's not coming out of that for love nor money. Not at this point, and we need to see a response from Buster, but Buster has to find a way past Bambaki, who's still alive. He's the remaining man. He's that third player. Buster and Bambaki are next to each other, and Bambaki strikes! Excellent timing from him. Se7en Esports have just completely fallen to pieces. We've got Tornado left alive here. We have Digital Athletics still alive with Bambaki, and one man standing, which is Edelweiss. That has turned so swiftly. Kamka, nade in hand, nade goes down. That could be good, it goes too far. Edelweiss works the way forward. Bambaki again slowly creeping further into this. Edelweiss, if he finds Kamka, this is game on for the Snakes, and he's done just that. Got part the nade! Oh, the Snakes are doing everything! This is insane! And now it's just Melman up against Bambaki. The revives could come in. That could change it, but Melman waits. He doesn't know how close Bambaki's gotten. He knows what happened, and they came through. Melman fires, the fire comes back. Oh, and he's only gone and done it!
Kidding?
The one-man band comes through, and Digital Athletics, what a statement to make.
This is insane. What an amazing clutch from Bambaki. I did not expect that. Of course, Se7en also played a turn in his Edelweiss, pushing in and taking the one-down player, but him being able to clutch this with first a knock, first a finish, then a nade straight onto energy, and this is their standing player.